Igbo, they are the problems of this country. They are desperate of power. Igbos, they are tired of this world called Nigeria. Hausa is not the problem, but the Igbos. Any Igbo can go against it. You can lambast me, you can insult me, it's not my business. It gives me courage, it gives me more glory and blessing. Your insult. Igbo, they are the problems of this country. They are desperate of power. They want to rule Nigeria at all costs. And I've not seen them ruling Nigeria, even in coming dispensation. Let them bring, when 10 trillion will come out. Igbos, they are betrayal of themselves. Igbo cannot control Nigeria. Let's be realistic. Let's be honest with ourselves. But they don't understand. Instead of them to seek wisdom, they are flexing muscle. And that is not the answer. That's what Tinubu does not even know. Obasanjo, who is advocating for them, they are the one who spoil it. All these Obasanjo, Yakubu Gowon, who are they? Many of them. So Obasanjo wants to make an amendment now, when it's too late. Tell the Baba to go and sleep. We can't make any amendments. Igbo, there is an error at the beginning. A curse is on you. If you don't reverse that curse, Igbo, you can't be president of anything in Nigeria. Note and underline wisdom, understanding, knowledge. That's
when I saw this disgusting video from Primate Ayodele declaring that the Igbos are cause and the problem of Nigeria, I watched it so many times. Not because I believe in it, but because I was stunned that in 2025, we are still having this conversation. This is nothing but tribal rhetorics and profiling. Let me ask you something. How do you curse a people who refuse to stay down? Because if the Igbos are cursed, then someone needs to explain to me how a curse works. Does it make you rebuild from nothing? Does it drive you to succeed in foreign land? Does it push you to dominate industries across an entire nation? If that's a cause, then I need to understand what a blessing looks like. We are talking about the most blessed tribe in Nigeria, the most enterprising tribe in the whole world. We are talking about a tribe that is found in every part of this world. A tribe that rose from the ruins to build an empire. Let us travel back to 1967, the Biafran War. 3 years of hair that nobody wants to talk about. Picture this, a military blockade so tight that children were eating lizard to survive. Mothers watching their babies' belly swell from kwashoko, not with food, but with starvation. Fathers unable to provide, unable to protect, unable to do anything but watch their families waste away. Over 2 million people died. Most of them were civilians. Most of them were children. The Nigerian military didn't just fight soldiers. They bomb markets. They blockade food supplies. They turned starvation into a weapon of war. Images of Biafran children with hollow eyes and skeletal frames shocked the world. It was genocide by another name. But we don't like using that word, do we? When the war ended in 1970, the Igbos didn't just lose the war. They lost everything. Every Igbo person with money in Nigerian bank was given just 20 pounds. 20 pounds. It didn't matter if you had millions before the war. Your life savings, your inheritance, your children's future, all of this reduced to 20 pounds. How about properties abandoned outside Igbo land? All of them taken. Businesses built over generations, gone. Land owned in other regions, seized. They call it abandoned property. History call it something else. But here's what Primate Ayodele doesn't mention in his viral video. What happened next? With 20 pounds and shattered dreams, the Igbos went back to the southeast, back to bomb out houses and destroy infrastructure, back to towns where nothing worked and nobody cared. And then they did something remarkable. They rebuilt, not with government bailouts, not with oil money, not with political appointment or federal contracts. They rebuilt with their bare hands and unstoppable will. Today, drive through Aba, Onitsha, Nnewi, Awka, Enugu, these cities that were reduced to rubble are now commercial powerhouse. Onitsha main market is one of the largest markets in West Africa. Aba produces goods that compete with imports. Nnewi has produced some of Nigeria's wealthiest industrialists. All of this just 55 years after being given £20 and told to start over. Tell me again about this course. I want to understand. Primate Ayodele is definitely envious of the Igbos. He's envious of their domineering nature. You want to know where the Igbos are dominating? Let's be honest about it. Walk into any major market in Nigeria. Lagos, Kano, Port Harcourt, Abuja. Who are the major traders? Who control the spare part industry? Who dominates import and export? Who runs the pharmaceutical distribution network? The answer makes some people uncomfortable. But it is the truth. The Igbos. All of this is not because of government patronage. Not because their people are in power. But because when you give an Igbo person £20, they found a way to turn it into 20 million. Nnewi alone has produced more industrialists than some entire regions. You know those names? Innocent Chukwuma, Innocent Moto, Nigeria's first indigenous car manufacturer. Cosmas Maduka, Costaris Group, automobiles, agriculture, petrochemicals. These aren't people who got rich from oil contract or political connections. These are people who built empires from sweat and strategy. Drive to Banana Island, Lekki, Ikoyi, Maitama, the most expensive neighborhood in Nigeria. Check the property records. Check who is building. Check who is buying. They are mostly Igbos. Go to any top university abroad, Harvard, Oxford, MIT. Check the Nigerian student there. Visit Silicon Valley. Check the Nigerian tech founders. Walk into hospitals in America and Britain. Count the Nigerian doctors. A disproportionate number are Igbos. Not because they are smarter than other Nigerians, but because a people who survived genocide learned that education is one thing no one can take from you. Let's talk about what happens when you give an Igbo person a level playing field, a place where their success isn't capped by tribal politics or regional quotas. In America, Dr. Bennett Omalo, a neurosurgeon who discovered CTE in American football players. His story was made into the Hollywood movie Concussion starring Will Smith. This Igbo man from Idemili in Anambra State changed American sport forever. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the first African and first woman Director General of the World Trade Organization. She didn't become World Trade Organization chief because of tribal loyalty. She earned it by being the best candidate in the world. Kelechi Ndukwe, US Navy commander who became the first Nigerian American to command a US Navy guided missile destroyer. An Igbo man commanding American warship. Let us sink in. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Her books are taught in schools worldwide. She has won virtually every literary prize that matters. Her TED Talk has over 27 million views. She represents Igbo excellence globally. Despite everything, despite the structural disadvantages, despite the tribal politics, Igbos are still winning at home. Tony Elumelu, chairman of UBA, one of Africa's largest banks and founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, investing billions in African entrepreneurs. Pascal Dozie, co-founder of Diamond Bank, now part of Access Bank. Allen Onyema, founder and CEO of Airpeace, Nigeria's largest airline, who has literally flown Nigerians home from danger zones for free multiple times. Jim Ovia, founder of Zenith Bank, one of Nigeria's biggest financial institutions. None of these men inherited oil blocks. None of them became rich from political office. They built their wealth through enterprise. Here is something that Primate Ayodele said, that the Igbos will never become president of Nigeria. This is laughable. This is what Primate Ayodele and others don't understand. The Igbos are not sitting around crying because they haven't produced a president. You know why? Because they have seen what the presidency did for other regions. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The North has produced the most presidents: Tafawa Balewa, Gowon, Murtala Mohammed, Shagari, Buhari, Yar'Adua, and others. What did it do for the average Northerner? The North still has the highest poverty rate, the lowest literacy rate, the worst health indices, highest out-of-school children, the poorest region in Nigeria. The Southwest has also produced the president, Obasanjo and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What did it do for the average Yoruba person? Lagos is still struggling with slums. unemployment and infrastructural decay. The presidency hasn't lifted any region out of poverty. The Igbos know this. What the Igbo person wants isn't the presidency. It is a functional Nigeria. They want a country where businesses can thrive. A country where road works so they can transport goods. A country where power supply is stable so factories can run. Where the rule of law protects their investment. Where a person from Imo State can become governor of Lagos if the people vote for them. Where your tribe doesn't determine your opportunities. That's why Igbos don't vote on tribal lines the way others do. You will find Igbos voting for Northern candidate, Yoruba candidate, anyone they believe will make Nigeria work. They are not looking for an Igbo messiah. They are looking for a Nigerian solution. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom born from suffering. Let's be brutally honest about something. By almost every metric that matters, the Igbos have achieved more post-war than regions that have controlled power. Just 55 years after losing everything, the Southeast has some of Nigeria's busiest commercial centers, produced a disproportionate number of Nigerian entrepreneurs, send more students abroad per capita than most regions, has the lowest rate of insecurity in Nigeria than most regions that have ruled Nigeria, has the lowest poverty rate, highest literacy rate. Meanwhile, regions that have produced presidents and controlled the military for decades still have the highest poverty rate, still have the lowest literacy rate, still have the worst infrastructure, still have the most internal instability. The Igbos achieved this without controlling the federal pulse, without dominating the military, without monopolizing political power. They achieved it through enterprise, education, and an unwillingness to accept defeat. If that's a cause, then every region should pray for one. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, why does Primate Ayodele message resonate with some people? Why do these cause narratives keep popping up? Because Igbo success threatens a comfortable narrative. The narrative says you need political power to succeed in Nigeria. You need your person in Aso Rock. You need federal appointments and oil contracts. But the Igbos keep proving their narrative wrong. They keep succeeding without these things. They keep building without waiting for government. They keep rising without political patronage. And that's dangerous to those who benefit from the current system. If people realize they don't need to fight over the presidency to prosper, if they realize they can succeed through enterprise rather than through political connections, if they realize that tribe doesn't have to determine destiny, then the whole system that benefits a small elite collapse. So they push the cause narrative. They push the problem narrative. They try to convince Nigeria that the people who ask for nothing but opportunity are actually the enemy. Let me ask you one more time. Who is really cause here? Is it the people who survived genocide and rebuilt with 20 pounds? Or is it those who have controlled power for decades and still blame their failures on others? Is it the people who dominate through enterprise despite political exclusion? Or is it those who can't succeed even with their hands on the treasury? Is it the people who excel globally when given a fair chance? Or is it those who need quotas and federal character to compete? The answer is obvious. The Igbos are in cause. They are not the problem. They are proof that Nigeria could work if we got our priorities right. They are the evidence that with hard work, education and enterprise, Nigerians can overcome anything, even war, even loss, even systemic disadvantage. They are a reminder that we are wasting our potential fighting over tribe and religion when we should be building together. So the next time someone tells you that the Igbos are cause or that they are Nigerian problem, ask them this: if the Igbos are the problem, why do they keep succeeding? And if having the presidency is the solution, why haven't the regions that monopolize it succeeded? The silence that follow will tell you everything you need to know. The truth is simple. The Igbos don't need pity. They don't need prophecies. They don't need anyone's permission to excel. They just need what most Nigerians need: a country that works. And until Nigeria learns the lesson that the Igbos learned in 1970, that your progress depends on your productivity, not your political connection, we'll keep having the wrong conversation, we'll keep blaming the wrong people, and we'll keep missing the point. The Igbos aren't cause. They are just inconveniently successful, and some people can't forgive them for it. I am Avalanche Media. I bring the truth like an avalanche. Fast, heavy and unstoppable. Stay informed, stay vigilant, stay ready. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.